What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohemeth, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm gonna pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
Announcement from Benjamin C. Steele talking to you about wearing a mask. Not this one, but this one. With everything going on right now with this pandemic, you need to wear a mask. My mask is for your safety. Your mask is for mine. I don't care what your uncles, brothers, best friends, mailman's roommate from college put on social media. Chances are they didn't think it through, and there's a very better than average chance that they're an idiot. So when you go outside, you put on your little mask over your face, put the little straps around your ears, and we're all going to be a lot safer. This is a team.
Mercer, one half of the tag team champions. I'm here to tell you that if you want to be a champion, if you want to survive this thing, wear your freaking mask, okay? It comes in all different colors. You can get Eclipse Blue, JC White and Black, or even hell, Blue and Gold. But guys, please, also remember, please, it goes over the nose. Over the nose. Thank you.
the truth in a me, yeah, I fight for every breath that I take.
Parental discretion is advised.
This show is brought to you by IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Just Pro Wrestling News Podcast. No filler, no pop-ups. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back.
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, episode 752. Tuesdays, we talk about professionalized wrestling. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, PA. I am back, bitches! So I'm really excited, and I'm trying to survive the night at the same time. But anyways, no, I am back after the hiatus. Thank you, Mainstream Matt, for taking over hosting duties last week, and making sure the show goes on, because the show must go on here, so we're on track to the episode 800. We can't skip any. But we got with us, well, guys, I have to tell you before we go to the next visual, if you're with us, on that. We moved to Zoom for our calls, and Zoom has some features, and Mad Mike has already been using those features live from his studio in Beacon, New York. Mad Mike, how are you doing?
No, Sorg, I'm actually speaking to you from the world of professional wrestling.
Oh,
Fine.
thank you for that visual representation of the world of professional wrestling right now.
We're here to talk about the whole thing, Sorg.
The whole
That's
thing.
it.
The whole thing. Oh, boy.
The whole thing.
Oh, boy. Also with us, our special guest for this week, from the hit USA Network show, The Rev Ron Hunt is with us.
I am here. I am here to grace this present and talk about my new reality show and all the other fun stuff. You know, it's going to be a wonderful, holy moment.
Fantastic. We've been holding that joke for a month, sir.
Hey, you know what? We've been holed up in here for a long time. Now, we just got to let it loose.
Oh, my God. You've missed us.
Sometimes I wonder what I get myself into.
Rev, just wait until we start talking about where WWE is moving, because there's going to be a lot of things showing up on the cock.
Yeah, we didn't get it out of our systems just yet. So.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm pretty sure the hole will eventually be on the cock.
Mm.
I almost got him. It was sipping. I almost got him, Sorg. I was very close.
Good comedic timing.
Oh, you don't know how many times Mike has almost killed the entire studio from me taking a swig. Yeah, no. If we ever go like obscenely off air with smoke and color bars, the studio's done. So
or Wanda Maximoff is finally taken over.
There's that too. Recasted. Anyways, this is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. We're going to catch up here with the Rev and everything going on in the wrestling world. And, of course, later, Mayhem Mania. We're going to open up the floodgates. I'm going to see how many people I can put in the Zoom call for the first time.
That's going to be
I'm
nice.
both afraid and looking forward to it at the same time.
It's going to be great. Sorry, I may even have a surprise for Mayhem Mania.
Oh, no. He's already calling his shots. But anyways, you can check out everything at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. You can hit us up on that email address.
Good time.
Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com, 412-206-WMS0. Tweet us at Mayhem Show, the Facebook page and group for the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
I was going to say, we're not on Goop.
No, we're not.
That talks about vagina candles.
But also, we are live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Facebook Live, on the Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook page, YouTube page, and on the Sorgatron Media Twitch page. So however you would like to, the chat room's going crazy too. But
Alex Carr says, welcome to the Wanda Mayhem Show.
Oh, no, that was last night.
Wanda Mayhem.
We have a little bit of a cutout issue with you. I don't know if it's like a peaking or something. We have to reacclimate to how the process is on here on Zoom, so we'll see how that goes.
You know, we might have been easier with like Skype or MySpace video. I heard, you know, they have a good video format now.
Every time I go back, I'm not going to be aware, and you're going to have a new background. It's going to mess me up.
I'm just trying to switch it off throughout the night.
Anyways, this is the best worst idea I've ever had. It was Twitter something live, and hey, patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. Please go check out everything. Please support us over there, including a big thank you to the people that do support us already there, including our friends at the fan of the show level, Bo Diggity, woo, as well as Ed Burke, Bobby F. J. Town, the team Hit. Our friend of the Poppy Club, Dave Podner, and at the Pizza Club level, Doc Remney and Kyle Turner, and at the manager level, holy hell, Farnsworth Investments, Tina Keys at $21, Mad Mike, and at OccupyProWrestling.com at $25, because it must be Mayhem Mania season. Thank you everybody for supporting the show, and it's actually been very, what are these old notes? What is this note about Laura Sullivan and stuff? Anyways, patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. I did not clear the notes from last week because somebody actually used these sections. So
wait, we have notes for this show?
But at least gets me through the first part here. So we were kind of making fun of it, but the most memeable moment of Monday Night, very Monday Night Raw as usual, was Nia Jax during the table match.
I can't believe we missed it, Sorg.
I don't know, man. The only positive we allowed was WandaVision. So there was a table match last night.
If you can call it that.
With Lana and Nia. And she fell on the apron?
Yeah.
On her butt and yelled out, my hole.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cue the internet.
They do say it's the hardest part of the ring. So
I mean, listen, Rev, you've been at this a few years. You ever hear about anybody busting their O-ring on the hardest part of the ring?
You know what? I've busted a lot of things on the hardest part of the ring, and by far, the apron, one place you don't want to have your body part hit on that apron is your hole. That does not last for, it's a very sensitive location. I don't know if you guys have ever damaged it, ever got kicked in it and recessed. It's a very sensitive region. So therefore, on the hardest part of the ring, listen, that's why I don't take any butt bumps or anything. No leg drops on the apron. And, you know, I'm all about starting to GoFundMe for her if that helps her out a little bit.
Now, I have a question. Because this was ultimately the main reason she lost the match, is this what we call a rim job?
I don't know. You might be digging a deeper hole for that one.
That's fair. We should probably stick to the surface of it, not drill in as hard as we cannot.
So our manager Bradley is really offended by the butt. Well, we only talked about we're talking about a very specified.
Yeah, I mean this is part of what we're talking about here. It's very important.
And I'm going to go ahead and apologize because I realized I made a really bad hand signal right there when trying to illustrate. So please, I apologize and I recognize that. So
it's okay, Sorg. Everyone gets one.
Okay, everyone gets one. Everybody gets one hole.
Yes.
Okay.
You pick which hole, but everybody gets one.
Well, unless you're X-Pac, then that's a whole nother story.
I'm pretty sure it's only available in
China. We lost you for a second there. Jeez. Yeah.
You know, we all have embarrassing things happen to us. It's just not they're not always televised.
No. Sometimes on the internet, but you know. So that came out of Raw last night. But the other big thing I wanted to talk about, another forbidden portal,
Another hole that was busted.
another forbidden pathway, if you will. It was because we didn't get a chance to talk about it. We ended up talking about it a little bit last night. But I know Matt has been mainstream. Matt has been on the social medias talking about this. But the forbidden portal has been opened with New Japan and AEW. Kenta, this is the problem that we do the show Mondays and Tuesdays, and we keep forgetting what happened last Wednesday, which is like probably the most important wrestling night as far as multitude of things going on. But yeah, that was the big thing. Was Kenta came over, attacks Moxley after Moxley made an appearance over on New Japan Strong. I'm excited. I'm always excited about these multi-promotional tie-ins, starting, of course, with the Impact Wrestling AEW thing. I really hope this means Tony Khan and Tony Schiavone are going to buy time on New Japan, maybe. But I know, Mike, you're not terribly a fan of Kenta necessarily.
Oh no, I'm a fan of Kenta.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge fan of Kenta. I loved him when he was in WWE too. It's just I wish I had this conversation with someone. I forget who it was. It might have actually been Garza. I feel like a lot of this stuff is taking up a lot of time from the actual AEW talents. Because yeah, it's cool. It's really cool that you got some of my Impact on your AEW. You got some of your New Japan on AEW. But there's a reason stuff like massive crossovers are very difficult to do.
Yeah,
like the fact that stuff like the Avengers or Endgame works at all is the biggest magic trick you'll see in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
You have to try and give equal time to everyone. And I feel like the more people we bring in, while cool for a lot of people, if you're a fan of the people who you've been watching on AEW, they might get left out in the cold.
Always a concern. But I think, it doesn't, aren't we on a cool part here where we're kind of bringing back that anything can happen, when everybody was kind of switching back and forth between WWE, WCW. Like, it is the Monday Night Wars again, between people, who's going to show up on Wednesday night for the most part. I mean, it's mostly AEW kind of pulling this.
Well,
but
it is and it isn't, because it's not like the companies are against each other. There's clearly agreements. This isn't like when Lex Luger jumped to Nitro or when Jericho came to Raw.
And it's
Those
not
people actually switched companies and were like they were gone from the other promotions.
And it's not
this
gonna
is like
good.
No, this is just like when this is more comparable to me when ECW first came onto Raw in like 96, 97. Like, that's what it's more comparable to me. Like, it's a talent sharing thing. I just hope that the Impact stars, and if there are any more New Japan stars, that they don't get kind of like overwhelmed by the AEW of it all.
Yeah, I think one of the main things, I think when hearing just so much of a cohesiveness, with how everything is happening, I think one of the main things that they could do is try to maybe see if there's a way to match some of that time that you're competing with the Monday Night Raw that's going like 3 hours or something like that. And just like Mike said, being able to kind of look at where things are going. How do we share this time equally? You know, we're working with Impact. You know, now we're teasing things with New Japan.
Yeah.
So I think if we can kind of equal out that time, give more times. I think they have a really solid product right now that it won't feel like it's lagging like a lot of times what we see with WWE. So, you know, I feel like if there's a way they can get to that, I think we can have even more of a well-balanced, especially now that we see, you know, so many companies now coming together under that one product, though.
No, absolutely. And I think it's creating other opportunities like Private Party. I don't feel like have had a lot of. There's a lot of tag teams on AEW, and Private Party would be one of them that probably like is getting lost in the shuffle a lot. So having them go over to Impact Wrestling to feature in that tag division, which I mean, I don't think their tag division's doing too great on Impact because like they were getting number one contender with a team of what was it, Alex Shelley and James Storm, which seemed like some random picks to fill in a division. So if that's the case, and there's
wasn't it the Guns and Saban had to bow out for some reason?
Yeah, I think Saban had some injury issues. So yeah. So I mean, but that you couldn't put it in our team in there seems a little suspect to me. And I don't know. I don't have a deep knowledge of what their tag roster looks like over there. Obviously, they just lost the Radicals. The MSK that just came over to NXT. So I know they would have been a big part of that. So, but again, it's more place for that to kind of play. So, from the chat room, I want to mention real quick. I think Tina is the one saying. Maybe it was Alex about I'm waiting for Jordan Grace to pop up over there on AEW. Yeah, that'd be nice.
I don't think you're gonna see any women.
No, I think
because they're centering it basically around Kenny Omega.
Oh yeah. That's the
like
big
that's the whole point of this. Like
yeah, and the tag division because it's the Good Brothers, which they're obviously doing some crossover with that. That's fine. And also like. You know, think we're still on kind of the first introductory shock value of, you know, a couple months in on this AEW this Impact Wrestling experiment, now the New Japan one, which really is probably going to be kind of specific because this is leading up to a match at the end of the month on New Japan Strong. And I don't know if that is going to factor into the new Roku show, perhaps. Because I think it's Thursdays, and I don't know what that content is going to be for New Japan yet. So. Also for those who are curious, the New Japan show on Roku, most people should be able to watch that. You do not need a Roku device to watch Roku channel things. So
okay, that's good to know.
So I don't know, not necessarily like putting on your Apple TV. Maybe you can AirPlay it. I don't know, or Chromecast or something. But if you have the Roku app on your phone, I know you can pull it up. And I think they're putting Roku apps on some other devices, if that makes sense. And it's an ad-based channel that they do. You know, much like if you're just tuning into Peacock, not signed up for it or something like that. But I don't know. I like it. It's especially like I feel like some of those crossovers were kind of already happening on a low level because I feel like I'm watching Danny Limelighter's career unfold in front of my eyes across about 3 different programs. So what did I say? He's like my favorite. Like I have a favorite enhancement talent on Tuesday nights. And it's fun to see him like do different kind of matches. And actually, he's growing up from that. Like he's getting some wins on Dark now actually. And it's kind of interesting to see those. And your buddy Nick Camarado over there just get.
Yeah, he's with the Nightmare family now.
Yeah,
so
just
I'm hoping he gets to beat up Shaq.
There you go.
Oh wow, that's a big point. That's a big choice.
Yes.
That's my hope, or at the very least, at least slap Charles Barkley in the face.
That's got to be like that's your like second degree of Kevin Bacon and be like, listen, man, I e-feted with the guy that slapped Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's your new introduction on this show. So,
oh no. It's still Slammy Award winning.
Oh, that's right. I know I didn't do the Slammy Award winning.
It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. I have to remind people I do have a Slammy. I won it. It's great.
That was actually one of my favorite episodes with yourself and the successful St. Jordan style talking about trophy violent etiquettes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I now know how to clobber people with my Slammy if I so desire.
It looks bigger. Did you notice, Rev? Like it looks.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Like it looks like I've
heard that a lot.
Oh.
I apologize. I'm being corrected in the chat room. Alex Shelley is the one out. I love both Matt and Tina have corrected me on that one. Let's see. So with that, the Forbidden Portal, of course, is open. We have a pay-per-view this weekend. Did you know that?
I mean,
it's a takeover, but you know.
I probably will not be watching it live because for some reason they decided to have it on Valentine's Day, and well, that's not necessarily the best option.
Well, I mean, nothing is more romantic than some caviar, some salmon, a glass of wine, and an elimination chamber.
Absolutely, yeah. And then we do have elimination chamber. What, a week from? Is it a week from next week?
I think it's a week from this coming weekend.
What?
So it's like back to back.
Yeah, but don't cancel that network yet, apparently. So, geez. Is anybody else doing the math of like, do I have to pay for next month of WB Network technically? Because I don't know how that's going to work.
I feel like I've had to hire an accountant just to figure out what the heck is happening between the network and Peacock. Like I'm just. Yeah, I have an accountant that's going to take care of that. Because I got a lot of angry people that wants to know what's happening with this.
Am I just going to sit on my network until eventually I'm sitting on the Peacock or what?
Hey, Sorg, sometimes you just have to keep paying even when you're sitting on the cock. So.
That's true. And you don't want to sit on the Peacock too long because then you got to pay for another 15 minutes.
And if you sit on the Peacock too long, you'll eventually just scream my hole.
Yeah, these are all lessons I learned in Bangkok. Thanks, Chest Flexor. Anyways, they're talking about your Slammy in the chat room.
Oh yeah, I know. Bradley's implying that awards are given.
Did I not say Bradley's name as the manager?
Sorg, he doesn't deserve.
I am ashamed of myself if I skipped
my son.
Your son,
my son Bradley.
Your son Bradley, the manager level for Wrestling Mayhem show. So I apologize for that. I guess we did get a little bit into butt talk too. So
it's okay. Bradley can sit and spin.
Can we put a listen, man? Valentine's Day is this weekend.
Yeah.
So I mean. Let's
favorite couples in wrestling. Let's break it down.
I was gonna say, but can't we talk about the butt this week? Because
we could add that. Sorg, we're asking the same questions.
Oh, okay. Okay, all right. Bobby says I'll be watching Takeover because loneliness. Listen, Bobby, we're gonna do a watch along. And we're going to do it a little differently this time since we have Zoom now and all these toys. So I would love, please, Bobby, I'm inviting you to go on a date with the rest of us Mayhemers and watch Takeover together.
Wrestling Date Him show.
Oh, no.
You might be on to something.
We could do a Wrestling Date Him show.
I will totally host.
Yeah.
We talk about that. We've been talking about
it'd be like Act 3 of Mallrats. It'd be great.
Yeah. I think we were talking about doing that, and then like there was. Do they still have the wrestling dating website?
I think I will randomly get emails from it from like 3 email accounts ago.
Did you sign up for it back in your single days?
I did, but there was no one around. So fat lot of good it did.
I don't know what you're gonna do with the dating websites. Is 95% men. Well, like how do you feed that pool? You know.
I
don't answer that. Don't answer that. Yeah.
I might think you might have a better chance on like Omegle or something like that, where you just don't really know people's names. You just keep skipping.
Tina says dinner and a negative COVID test first. Oh boy, 2021, fucking wildin'.
Our priorities have changed. Is there a slot for that one on your Tinder? Or your farmers only?
Hey girl, I've been vaccinated. Yeah.
Hey girl, are you team Pfizer or team Moderna? If you're really feeling frisky, get the Johnson & Johnson.
Jeez. Oh,
Get the Johnson and Johnson and Johnson. The third Johnson's for you.
Just for you. Only two payments at $9.99. You get the Virgil special.
Oh, jeez. Meat sauce. Well, guys,
Speaking of meat sauce, you can go and slice up.
no, that's later. We're not there yet.
I'm just kidding.
Speaking of meat sauce, you can see a lot of meat slapping at wrestling or indiewrestling.us. I just went with it. Indiewrestling.network, a lot of wrestling going on. You can see the Rev in action over there, actually. Geez, I don't know, everywhere that you've been.
all over the place. I lose track nowadays.
Yes, well, you can go search his name, and he can maybe just, remember where he's been by searching his name over at indiewrestling.us as part of course, the very first match of Prospect Pro Wrestling, no, that one's not with this.
There's a lot of his. The very first match of Prospect Pro, the very first match for Fight Underground.
That's right.
All the other fun stuff, all the crazy stuff.
RWA.
$10,000 on a pole match. You have RWA.
Yes.
So a lot of great places. You've been there to film it all somehow, and you're still putting up with me years later.
Somehow. And I said, hey, let's get on a Zoom call because we haven't filmed wrestling for a while. So I miss it. What is Rev going to roll in through that entranceway on this week? So it's been the game over the years. So.
Listen, I'm telling you, whatever company you're at that we have our first live event, you know how I roll. I was on a mission. So I've been writing things down since the beginning of this whole pandemic, and I'm trying to roll in on something big, large, and whatever.
You can go check out all that, IndieWrestling.us, IndieWrestling.network. A lot of stuff a part of that $5.99 subscription. Well, one of those things, as we mentioned here in passing, is Fight Underground. Of course, you were early in this last area as we were determining kind of the winner of Area 1. But you were the first match, you said, for Fight Underground as well. Won the very first area tournament over there. I think we've had you on like around when the first area was happening, perhaps. But that has been a hell of an experience.
Listen, that has been one of the craziest things ever. I think now going on, close to about 9-10 years or so now. But Fight Underground, I've said it since the jump. I wanted to be a part of something that was going to make history, that was going to change the game. And, I still believe that within Fight Underground. I think the only thing about that is this isn't like your typical pro wrestling company. I mean, there's a lot of grit, there's a lot of tenacity, and no matter how much you win, everything can still be lost. Just like that, just by how the rankings go and how the voting and the council meetings and everything goes. So, I think when, looking at it now, I mean, I'm definitely privileged to be the winner for Area 1. I look at people like AJ Alexander, I look at people like Loss Prevention, and, even going further to where, I had to, win against Justin Idol, but, no slouches by any means necessary on the Fight Underground roster. So the fact that I'm able to kind of, get to where I am right now, and now seeing however things turn out when it comes to Beastman and I, that's the name of the game. But like I said, it's nothing but grit, tenacity, and I still say it because I don't mind a little heat, even if it's from an old grumpy billionaire. There was a Fight Underground before there was a Raw Underground. You see what started last, and you see what ended first. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, it is something when you have something that actually starts with the passion and not with the let's try this on TV this week. No, that entire first two areas are up on the social media for Fight Underground, of course, and the entire first area is actually up on the network, so you can see it all in one place. So, I mean it's been something different. You've now been in two different venues where you're just wrestling in front of the rest of the roster, and well, even some of the people that are trying to get on the show, and I don't know, got their moves tried out on a little bit, I guess. So. But excellent. So we were joking, of course, about the USA Network show earlier, in case anybody needed that clarified. Otherwise, you know, and I know we had you on talking on Indie Mayhem show early on in the pandemic and kind of adjusting to everything going on. I know you've picked up the Eclipse Tag Team Championship. We've had Zeke Mercer on the show with the showing that hardware off. We were a little less afraid of having people in the studio a few months ago. So how have things been going for you? You know, out there in Ohio. I don't know if wrestling's really kind of picking up out there yet. I know it's not really here in the Pittsburgh area.
Yeah, right now in Ohio, I think everything is still very closed. I mean, we're still doing training, and I think that's one thing that's been helping with the pandemic is with training. We all have our guys and our girls train with face masks on, and even us when we're coaching, we have to wear face masks. So I think just naturally just being able to press our lungs and our lung capacity to another level, that's at least a positive you could look at in the middle of wrestling in this pandemic. But other than that, Ohio's been slowly opening up, very, very limited socially distant crowd there. So just making sure we're doing that, but keeping everybody safe at the same time. And then at the same time, even outside of that, coming back to certain areas where now I was used to double booking for certain nights. But now that's very, very, limited. So, still doing very few shows, no crowd at Eclipse. Clearly with Fight Underground, there's nothing but us in the locker room, and our fight counselor is there. And, some of those companies are still adjusting and waiting for weather to get warmer so they can have outdoor shows. That's going to be a little bit more financially feasible for everybody. So I think at the end of the day, the mindset is still the same. We come in and we dominate wherever we're called to. We go in there, we try to get the gold, walk out, and, increase the paycheck by the end of the night.
Absolutely. It's good to see that people are getting back into training. I know I've seen a lot of pictures of people getting back into the training here in the area as well. So that's good to see, and people kind of working that out. But I know not everybody can or feel comfortable. I was at a different level. So, respect to that. So there's these pictures that just popped up. I noticed in my feed from you in the last week. One of them's right there behind you. What is this? Hey, there's Shane.
Who's that? Yeah. So these are my crew. My crew clearly. I don't know who. Let me see if I got it. Look, a meteorologist. That guy right there. I don't know who that guy is. But Con right there. Shane right behind me. Moses on the other side. My man that just had his official debut that's live now on Ring of Honor Wrestling YouTube page. O'Shea Edwards, the Kaiju. He is live right now. So what we're doing right now is everything that's happening right now, our mindset is how can we dominate by any means necessary? And one of the things, we just had a full debut with all 5 of us together for the very first time on the indie circuit, which has been kind of the talk of has been kind of the talk of the area because, not often are you able to see gentlemen like us that's able to come in with a strong mindset all come together, even on the independent circuit. So, we said, even outside of Ring of Honor, our game is to change pro wrestling in general, as a whole, worldwide, universal, international. And that starts with even coming into our independent wrestling organizations and everything like that. So, this was taken, I can't go too far into it, but this was actually in Texas. We had a project, we had a mission to take care of. And let's just say whenever that is made public, that mission is going to be very loud and very clear. And that's all I can say on it right now. But it was a little crazy. It was a little crazy.
So big news from your camp over there. I know announced for coming up on, that is the weekend of the 27th on ROH TV. I see Shane's going to have a title match with Roosh. And you can tell I've been watching Ring of Honor because I know how to say Roosh now.
You know what? You were actually doing pretty good. I can't tell you how many people say Rush.
Yeah. I know
we were on the indie. We were on the indie company in Texas. Unfortunately, he apologized. We're not one to hold vendettas or anything, but he was calling Khan Kuon. So the fact that you're able to know the names, that's amazing. But yes. Coming up that week, we have officially, it is signed, sealed, and now it's time to deliver Shane T-Boy, the baddest champ you've ever seen, boy, against Ring of Honor's current world champion, Roosh. And I'm telling you, I'm been talking to Shane about this for a while, and that was our mindset, even going back to Final Battle of 2019. Our mission was, hey, We didn't hold on to the world television title like we wanted. He said, listen, we're not going to look behind us. We're going to look forward. My next mission is I already achieved this. How can I get to a world title now? And, you know, it took a little bit of hard work. It took some negotiation, but I think we're finally in a spot to where the world is hearing us. You know, there's a Facebook page called Choose Your Honor that people can go on there and say, this is what we think we want to see. And I'm here to tell you that the office does listen to that and does take adherence to what the fans are saying, what the crowd is saying, very, very close to heart. So the fact that we were able to kind of sign our dot on that contract for Shane Taylor versus Rouge, I'm telling you, it's going to be nothing but money. I wouldn't be surprised if someone leaves out in a stretcher, honestly.
Absolutely. I'm in that Facebook group, and I know when the question came up, you know, asking about who should get a title shot, like seeing the actual organic fanning or you know, reaction to the Shane's the guy, you know. I've really been impressed. I know we've been back and forth. You know, I've always, you know, what did I say? I never watched every week's episode of Ring of Honor, but whenever they're in town, I know it's going to be a good show, and I get back into it. It was always an easy pickup. But man, something happened in the last like several months of Ring of Honor TV between that pure tournament and we did watch Final Battle live. A few of us here on the Mayhem show. It's like, you know, Ring of Honor has always had a really good vibe for the live shows, but there's something they're doing with those closed sets down there in the bubble in Baltimore that's just like, you know, it's like Ring of Honor refound their voice a little bit.
Yeah, I think that was one of the main things. I think before the pandemic fully went into factor, you know, there were talks about bringing back the pure title, but you know, I think even outside of that, and like we've seen with you know, even, you know, WWE stepping up their game, AEW stepping up their game, you know, Ring of Honor, you know, we're no newbies to this. You know, we know what it's like to handle ourselves in the midst of adversity and say, okay, the people that are laughing at us, it's not going to take us long to prove them wrong. And I think that was one of the main things. You know, clearly we went on a hiatus for nearly about a half a year with no live shows or recorded empty arena shows whatsoever until they were able to find a proper balance just to make sure everyone is safe. So between the protocol that's in place with having people locked in the ROH bubble for days upon days upon days, I think even outside of that, when it comes to production, when it comes to management, when it comes to all the guys and the girls in their locker room, I think right now was a time that said, okay, this is our time to rewrite our wrongs. This is our time to show why we are considered the best wrestling on the planet. And, you know, I feel like right now, no shots are being held. It's about how can we deliver this day in and day out on a consistent basis. And I think that's what people are seeing right now.
Absolutely. It's really interesting to see that development and seeing these pure matches. And just seeing kind of a refocus on character, it seems, too. Like the profiles have just been like these match profiles, like they'll drop in a guy that I really don't know, and they've just been absolutely fantastic. I've been really impressed. We mentioned this on the side before the show because I know, Mike, you caught this too. I saw that Cheeseburger has been renamed. and Cheeseburger is one of those guys you always look forward to on, you know, the indie shows or the Ring of Honor shows, but getting that backstory of why he was Cheeseburger and now he's going into the pure tournament. I know that match opened the weekend. I didn't have an opportunity to catch it, unfortunately, but I plan to. But that's been some cool things about that, or Joe Keys that we know from. I've seen him up in Revenge, and of course another promotion here in Pittsburgh. To see him come in and just pretty much black trunks, no, I forgot what his entire vibe was when he was here before, but just being like pure wrestler Joe Keys and just Jonathan Gresham last week has been like I love these stripped down and rebuilds that are happening over there right now.
Yeah, I think it's one of the things to where we're like, how can we be different? And, you know, it's not necessarily to the fact of how can we rewrite something, but when you look at things like the pure title, I mean, you look at just the legacy behind that belt and some guys that are, you know, at what people are considering the Mecca right now, it all stemmed from, and I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. When you look at pro wrestling as a whole, everything has a root back to Ring of Honor. And, you know, some people know that, and some people find it out years later. But when you really do your homework, everything has a root back. With all your major companies outside of Ring of Honor, somehow it all has a root back to Ring of Honor. So I think, you know, just like you said, Sorg, was that time for us to find our voice to the best of our ability, but also saying, okay, this is what we have. We're confident in what we have, and let us push it out there even further. Let the viewers know what we have and why they need to tune in. So with my boy Cheeseburger was actually one of my opponents with my debut. I had a triple threat against him and my good friend of mine, Derek Neal. But, you know, seeing him now, the world famous CB, and, you know, talking about how he got his name. But now, you know, while there have been some pros with that, there have also been some things that have naturally held him back. So even now, you know, you look at Cheeseburger that's been in the game for 10 plus years now, including mainly at Ring of Honor, and you're even seeing him refurbish himself, refine himself, and then, you know, showing things that, you know, even guys that shared a locker room with him didn't even know he had in him. So I think it's very refreshing for a lot of people, honestly.
Yeah, a lot of fun stuff over there, and I think that's been the greatest thing coming out of this is opportunity to rebuild for a lot of people that needed that, right? So whether it be guys on the indies or in Ring of Honor or where the case may be. So awesome. So so with that, you know, of course, you got a lot going on. You know, we're going to have you hanging on here for Mayhem Mania in a little bit here. I got the wheel. I'm here, and the Space Gel wheel is back. Did I grab the right thing? There it is. There it is. In the meantime, I want to give a shout out to our friends over on Slice on Broadway before I lose my voice. So there it is. You might be taking this over, Mike. But supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. NYC style yins are made. 3 locations here in the Pittsburgh area. I know that's not everybody. Sorry, Rev. You know, you moved away from the slice. So.
You know what? I was a big fan of him. That was one of my biggest upsetting things. It took me a while. I cried in the corner daily when I couldn't get Slice on Broadway. So if anyone hasn't tried it, Slice on Broadway is Rev approved. Very nice. How much?
Are we allowed to do that one? Oh, well. Anyways, go check out our friends.
Did it.
We just did it. We'll find out. There's a lot of stuff I'm going to find out if I get notes for after this. But anyways, thanks to them for supporting the show. And, of course, you guys can please let them know that the Mayhem show sent you if you have an opportunity to stop by there if you're in the Pittsburgh area. So
Kick the door in.
No, Mike.
Kick
No,
the door
Mike. No. Where are you?
If you see that door, kick it in.
Mike's
Not down. That's disrespectful.
Mike's lost in the temple right now.
Yes.
So,
I appreciate that you noticed exactly where it was.
I'm familiar. It's the first temple.
Yeah, I know.
Too.
I know.
It's the
this is
original.
actually in celebration. I just showed my father-in-law some Lucha Underground this weekend.
Oh yeah.
He was a big fan.
Oh no, really?
Uh-huh.
I have enjoyed
because we were talking about it, and he's like, "Oh, I got Tubi on my TV." I'm like, "Really? Well, let me show you a little something called Grave Consequences."
Hey, that's
that was where I started. We watched 3 episodes.
Hopefully, I haven't scared him away, but I think Bradley has been showing his father some certain points in wrestling.
Bradley, you gotta show your dad Lucha Underground.
I don't know if that's something that would be up his alley, but I feel like that's what I've been seeing that was on his Facebook. So, you know, I love this like gradual here, check this out, you know, kind of thing that everybody seems to be doing, whether it be a significant other or a you know, or a parental figure or wherever the case may be. So, but anyways, or a grandma, it's always fun. We're going to be back with Mayhem Mania. I'm going to go die a little bit in the corner, and we'll be back after this. Hey, Bradley's the first thing you're going to see if you're on video.
Kill
What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohema, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm going to pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
For a foot or an inch, yeah, I fight for you all. Is the truth and I'm in, yeah, I fight for referee.
The world of pro wrestling, it's bigger than ever. So how can you possibly keep up with everything that's happening? Just pro wrestling news. Don't fear falling behind. Give us just 5 minutes every morning and we'll catch you up on the biggest news in the world of pro wrestling. No filler, no rumors, no spoilers, no pop-ups. Just pro wrestling news. Subscribe on your favorite podcast app or tell your smart speaker to play the Just Pro Wrestling News podcast. Find out more. Go to justprowrestlingnews.com.
We're back. We are back.
The purse bash.
Yeah, when we did the purse bash. We're live on the Wrestling Mayhem show.
I used to get for PTO.
We're talking about that one time we did a purse bash for charity while I was in the desert in California. That's a phrase that all comes together.
Listen, one of the two biggest things, and Matt, you were still there because that's when I was there. The two biggest things that I can brag about that I survived, and I don't even know if this is bragging worthy, but they brought Antonio Brown in to do weather for Ron Smiley on the segment of PTO. Yeah, that was that's all.
They were like, we need Antonio Brown is here. Someone should interview him really quick, and I ended up being the one who got dragged into an office to interview Antonio Brown, like on the spot, like that. And I'm just like, so AB, and he's kind of like, he was.
That's right.
They're like you get your different modes of AB. This was the, I'm getting paid and I'm here and I'm not.
Yeah.
See, I got
either tired or high. So
or a combination of both.
We'll have a chat.
I love we have a work reunion happening here between the Rev and Mainstream Matt.
Rev,
here on the Wrestling Mayhem show.
There's never been a finer intern in the history.
Is my camera working?
The cream always rises to the top, Matt.
That's right. That's correct.
So we're
Is my camera working?
Yeah, you're working. We're live. Everybody's coming in live. We're still figuring out how Zoom works. That's okay. And I realized, like, one thing that we were gonna pitch in the first part of the show, because I got my Bailey Hugger doll right here, and
I'll
show you the ropes.
Let's say,
so
Bobby, it's like I only see like the
I
bottom.
only see his mouth.
I only see your mouth, like here down.
You
have something like it.
Okay, there he is. Okay, there's some fun stuff happening. But anyways, we were gonna pitch. We're going to pitch. We obviously
It's using the wrong camera. I don't know what I'm doing.
We obviously need a Nia Jax doll. Where that just, you squeeze it and it says my hole. So that's our pitch to WWE Toys.
We need to hack that Bailey doll so she also says "Ding Dong, hello." Like we need to give her all like the catchphrases now.
Yes.
Is there like an upgrade patch, like an update patch? Can I get Angry Karen update for my Bailey doll?
You'd have to cut off the ponytail.
We'll have to cut off the ponytail. We'll open her up. We'll get the voice box out. We'll see if we can hack it. Then we'll just take her to a Build-A-Bear. They can stitch her right back up, fluff her, bye.
Can I go to Build-A-Bear? Can I be like, listen?
Build-A-Bailey. Build-A-Bailey.
He's really thought
Build-A-Bailey.
about this.
Build-A-Bailey.
It's a Build-A-Bailey.
There we go. I'm better now.
So it's
It's a build.
Oh, the good old days when all of us can hug. That's what. Did she turn heel with COVID? I can't remember that timeline. Is that because I mean that would have been
It was
perfect.
pretty close.
That would have been perfect, right?
She turned heel before COVID.
2019.
But it was
2019,
it was right when SmackDown went to Fox.
But what if
Okay, well here's the thing with me. Now, Sorg, you brought up a good point. Now, with me, me and my heel expertise, if it happened during the pandemic it would have been even more of a heel if she just maximized her hugology and just like, I'm gonna hug you anyway with no mask.
But isn't
Like-
but I'm saying
Bailey 19.
the inability to hug is what turned her over the edge, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, is there? I mean, I haven't checked in on Keith Hott lately.
She couldn't get a haircut, so she had to start cutting her own hair.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, she is.
She got like a vintage like Britney Spears moment where she
Yo.
just shaved her own head.
Bailey is like that. Bailey is full on the cautionary lockdown story, right? So she's like,
Once such a sweet girl, but now once hugs were taken away.
So are
You
you,
got
are you
rid of
saying
all
the
of her
network or
toys.
So are you saying the network or Peacock should just have like Bailey, the COVID-19 trilogy?
yeah.
Coming soon to the cock.
Remember when they first went to the empty arena? Bailey and Nikki Cross both got in Michael Cole's face weekly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, uncomfortably close.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, it was like
Nikki Cross sitting Indian style or,
Yes.
or crisscross applesauce
Mhm.
on the announce desk right next to Michael Cole is one of my favorite images of last year.
Indeed.
Because it just made him so uncomfortable.
So, with that, is there anything else we want to touch on here before we? I shouldn't say that holding the Bailey doll.
No touching because of COVID.
No touching because of COVID. But
is there anything else we want to say roughly 6 feet apart from, but still address?
The hole.
That's a pretty big.
The hole with that 6-foot pole.
That's a pretty. That's a pretty big hole.
Dr. Seuss, this.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah. Well, I think Matt, do we have our party gathered for this evening?
Let me see. I can see Michael and David and Alex and Robert.
This just became that
and
that children's
Ron.
show.
Yep. We've got our 5.
There you
We're good to go.
There you go. We are good to go. Matt, what happens next?
Well, Sorgi, this is a very exciting time of the evening. It's time to play the internet's favorite fantasy booking game, Mayhem Mania. It's kind of a competitive thought experiment. The goal is to create the greatest WrestleMania card possible within the confines of our current reality in which we are all living. That means everyone that you will attempt to use comes in their current physical, emotional, contractual, pharmacological, etc. state. You are Vince McMahon with unlimited resources and zero self-control.
So basically Vince McMahon.
Correct. We are working on an 8-match card. Tonight, 5 of our players are going to come in here, and each of you will have a chance to make one change to our existing card. The goal is to make it better, not worse. You know which one of you I'm looking at right now. Let's circle back to the controversy from last week, because after about 7 days of debate, we have come to a conclusion on the match swap move that got pulled off by Riz last week. This is going to be hard to explain to the Rev. I'm like trying to figure out how it's going to be on here, but you know what? You're a smart guy, so I'm sure you're gonna catch up quickly. I will explain it to you as I would a child, and let's see if we can straighten this out here real quick. Okay, so we have an 8-match card. One of the spots on the card is designated specifically as the cinematic match slot. So whichever match is in that slot on our board, on our match card, will be the cinematic match. One of the move options that you could do if you choose to would be to move the match that is currently in the cinematic match slot out of there and put another match that's in another spot on the card into the cinematic match slot. So basically you could promote a different match into that, into that spot on the card. In addition, Reverend, your options are also you could pull one individual out of the match, swap him or her for another individual either in another match on the card, or swap them off and bring in a different person from who is not currently on the card. You got to work in individual units though, so you could swap out a whole tag team for another tag team, or you can swap out like one person. Can't do like 2/3 of a tag team. Sometimes, people try that like 2 or 3 times a year. I think I usually try to stop them. You could also just delete a match entirely and create an entirely new match with completely new people. Let your imagination run wild. 1-on-1 match, tag team, 3-way, 4-way, whatever. Don't make any 20-man battle royals. We need to leave toys for everyone else to play with. And I think is that all the move options, guys? You guys know this better.
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, I think I got through everything right. Okay, so I said basically the individuals who are eligible for you to use must either be under a WWE contract currently or within WWE's orbit of influence. So just because they're not technically signed doesn't mean Vince can't like get on the phone and call them and be like, hey pal, come on in and do it like that. But you can understand that if someone's wrestling for another major company, they would not be able to work Mayhem Mania. In addition, there are a number of other individuals who are not eligible to use, and that is because they are locked away in something we lovingly refer to as space jail. Basically, these folks have kind of overstayed their welcome, basically, when it comes to our players, and they have decided that they do not want to see these folks involved in any matches in Mayhem Mania. You've got your hands on your face. Ron, make a sound so we can see your face.
Listen, I was automatically thinking my man Velveteen Dreams. You guys got him in jail.
Well, that's too bad. Let's run through the rest of the names here real quick for you. And we have assigned them cell numbers, and you will see why in one quick minute. In cell number 4, we have Lacey Evans. In cell number 5, Charlotte Flair. In cell number 7, Dominic Mysterio. In cell number 10, we have Brock Lesnar. In cell 13, Shane McMahon. In cell 16, Velveteen Dream. 19, Ric Flair. 22, Edge. 23, Randy Orton. Now, the good news, right now, those individuals you cannot use. They are off limits. They've been put there. I won't explain how. That's a very complicated process. And that might actually remind me for a moment there that, Mad Mike, is there anyone you want to put in space jail this week, or are you hoarding that?
Not as of press time.
Okay, very good.
And I also noticed Chad the Chat is not in the chat room.
No, he's lurking, but we'll see. We'll send up with the Chad signal and see if he let him know that we're up to no good again. Anyway,
I think it's on him.
Oh, I mean, it's his responsibility.
Yeah, exactly.
He knows we're here every week.
Yeah. So anyway, just because you're in space jail now does not mean you're in space jail forever. For example, last week, Goldberg was put in space jail, and then, as we do every week, we spun our prize wheel, the number came up on Goldberg's cell, bing! Goldberg is free, and just like that, he's booked into a cinematic match with Walter. Amazing! Rags to riches story. So without further ado, Sorg, let's spin the wheel. Let's see if anyone escapes from space jail tonight.
Wheel of space jail. Turn, turn, turn. See whose escape will be earned. Let's see. Number 19. Do we have a 19?
Ric Flair is out.
Ric Flair has escaped.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Ready to hide your daughters. Ric Flair is free.
From space jail to
Space Mountain. Yep.
Very nice. Very nice.
Jeez.
But we're still assuming
Like,
that
how
Rick
am I
will
gonna get
be
down?
Rick will be just like
Space jail into Space Mountain.
just like in Monopoly where there's the just visiting part of the jail.
Yo, he's not allowed to visit any.
I'm assuming he's trying to hang on with his casual friend
Conjugal
Lacey.
space jail visits.
Conjugal space
Yes.
jail visit.
Yes,
Yeah.
but they're just casual friends now, though.
Yeah.
As he said very explicitly last night.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a very casual, inappropriate relationship. That's all. You know, so don't get too weirded out. All right. So anyway,
Very casual, adulterous friendship.
Yes. So circling back, we had a little bit of a debate from last week because when Riz used one of those moves to swap the match into the cinematic match slot and swap the other one out, we were having a little bit of difficulty in deciding exactly who now would be credited with creating that match. Rev, it's a long story. I'm not going to drag you into it. I'll just get to the quick and dirty on this one. After a week of debate and democracy and letting everyone say their piece, the decision has been made that credit for creating both matches will go to the Riz, and the Alex Cars rule, therefore, is in play. That's why Dave Podner is here, because he created one of those matches that got swapped, and his match got meddled with. So Dave Podner's here, and he is going to go last. The order of play tonight will be Sorgatron, then Bobby, then Alex, then the Rev, and then Dave Podner batting cleanup. I will also remind everyone that we do have a 90-second shot clock for you to state your move so that this doesn't drag on for too long. Sorgi, I will run through the list of matches, and then we will get down to business. Are you ready to recap our 8 matches as they stand right now?
Yes, they are queued up for you.
All right, here we go. First off, we have our cinematic match. It is Walter versus Goldberg, created by The Riz. Next up, Raquel Gonzalez versus Beth Phoenix, created by Tina Keys. We have Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss versus Daniel Bryan and Nikki Cross in Just a Match, created by The Riz again. We have Samoa Joe versus Kyle O'Reilly versus Timothy Thatcher versus Ilya Dragunov. That's created by Chad the Shad. We have Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston and AJ Styles versus Tyler Breeze and Adam Cole and Cesaro, created again by The Riz. We've got the Iconics versus the Riot Squad, created by Mad Mike. Finn Balor versus Karrion Kross versus Aleister Black, created by Bobby F. J-Town. And finally, Pete Dunne versus Keith Lee, created by our friend Brandon. Sorgi.
Yes.
I'm certain that this is the poorest job I've ever done introducing a round of Mayhem Mania. Thank God most of you know how to play the game. So Sorg, without further ado, I would like to begin the play, and you are up first. Bobby's on deck. So, Sorgi, make a move here on our big board of 8 matches.
I will remove Walter and Goldberg.
Sorg, I love you.
Entirely?
Sorg took my move.
Entirely. Oh, wait. Hold on. I didn't hit my counter. I have to be honest. I'm sorry. We will remove Walter and Goldberg. That means whatever goes in is now in a cinematic match. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Then I will have the super group musical trio.
Oh, man.
Here we go.
Of Elias, Drew McIntyre, and Jinder Mahal.
Mm-hmm.
In my mind, this will be a
3
queen.
MB, 3 MB, 3 Ducks.
Elias
Yes.
and 2MB versus...
Heath is busy, and I love the idea of just like that. That's Elias's backup band. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, they always needed a front man.
They did always need a front man, and now they have. And what was Elias's name when he first started wrestling? The front man, Logan Chulo.
Oh, good job.
Yes.
Well remembered.
And I don't know who they're going to fight. I haven't thought that far.
Sorg, how much time do we have left on
I
the
got
clock?
30 seconds, probably less technically. But I will put them against...
Don't panic.
Don't panic? Why?
This is the perfect
I'm
time to
panicking.
panic.
I'm panicking.
Hurry up!
I'm like, it's going to be like 3 Hornswoggles. I don't know right now.
You can't clone anybody.
I
Hurry
can't
up!
clone anybody. Keith Lee's already used. Give me the 2 guys with Pete Dunne and Damian Priest.
Oni Lorcan, Danny Burch, and Damian
Yes.
Priest.
Yes, and I'm out
All
of time.
right. Damian
That was my
Priest.
panic call.
Please put them as the 2 guys with Pete Dunne on this on the card.
Well, I was gonna say that group. I should have made it Pat McAfee. Damn it.
He's available now.
He
Yeah,
is.
I mean,
he is.
you
But my
could
time
have just
is
done
up.
the brand.
But randomly, is that what they're called? I forgot that's what they're called.
That's what I call them because
Okay.
Pat McAfee's gimmick is.
Well, I was gonna say
For the brand, yeah.
Pete Dunne and
They
his
called
guys.
themselves the Kings of NXT at first.
Yeah,
but that didn't stick.
It's not really a thing. I remember Pete Dunne is occupied there with, was it Keith? Yeah.
He's occupied with pro wrestling.
Pat McAfee
.com.
is the king of NXT, so you cannot. No one else can lay claim to that throne.
I wish I had thought of McAfee. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Sorgatron, thank you very much. Bobby, you are up. Alex is on deck.
You guys with Pete Dunne.
Bobby, your
Love it.
90 seconds starts now.
All right, Sorg took away the match I was gonna kill.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. So let's take away. I'm sorry, Dan O'Brien and Nikki Cross and The Fiend and Alexa Bliss. Take them out of there.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry. Couldn't think of
Awesome.
another match that was kind of last minute. I'm gonna go with. I was thinking about using Dabakato but I can't find him.
I mean,
no.
I'll
Bobby,
let you use him if that's what you're
Don't tempt me
No,
to
no,
use
no.
my space jail.
And in all seriousness, I'm gonna go with Io Shirai versus her mentor, Rey Mysterio Jr.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All
Excellent.
right.
I love that. That's really
Okay.
good.
That's fun.
All right. Wow. I dig it.
That's
I
fun.
yield my time to the next person.
I yield my time to the gentleman from California. Okay. Thank you, Bobby.
You're welcome.
Alex, you are up. The Rev is on deck. Alex, are you ready?
Yes. Does that mean I get extra time though if he's yielded time?
Sorg, how much time was left when Bobby seated his time?
I don't know, like 40 seconds.
You know what? Just forget it. Just dump it. Alex,
I was just kidding. It's fine.
Alex, 90 seconds. Sorg, go.
Okay. I do want to thank Sorg for doing half my job for me because I was actually gonna deal with that Walter Goldberg match myself.
I love how no one liked that match.
Nobody liked that match. However, I'm gonna keep this simple. Can I get real quick the board with the matches? Thank you. I need to address this right now. The tribal chief will not be disrespected any longer.
Mm.
So, I'm going to add the head of the table, Roman Reigns, to Keith Lee versus Pete Dunne.
All right. All right. I think I'm
There you
into
go.
that.
Quick, easy, simple, and
That's good.
I'm done. I'm
You
pretty
can
sure
see
that's
the rest of your time.
Yield your time.
I'm done
I
with
yield my
my
time.
I don't mind that.
Just like a Roman Reigns promo, I don't need to BS for too long.
Dave's gonna have like
Straight to
2
the
hours
point.
by the end of this.
I was really hoping he was going to add it to Raquel Gonzalez and Beth Phoenix with Roman Reigns. That's what I was.
Yes.
I was like, please make this happen.
Excellent. All right, cool. Great job. Thank you very much, Alex. Rev, hopefully this all makes sense. Is this making sense to you?
I think it does, but if it
All
doesn't,
right.
oh well, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. All right, Rev, let's go. Start the clock. Dave, you're on deck. But yeah, Rev, let's see what you can come up
All
with.
right, can I get the graphics, please?
That guy?
All right, let me see. I want to undo. Let me undo the. I want to take out Samoa Joe and Kyle O'Reilly. So it'll just be Timothy Thatcher, and so I can reuse them, right?
can't
Since
let
I
you do
took
that.
them out.
I can't let you take 2 people out.
I'll have to take out the whole match.
You want to take out the whole match?
Yeah, let me undo that. Let me undo
Let's do
that.
it.
Causing some chaos here.
Okay.
All right.
That's what we
Let
like.
me- All right, can I get it one more time, and then I'm gonna try to see where I can match this. Okay, I'm gonna put Samoa Joe in with Finn Balor versus Aleister Black versus Karrion Kross, and I want that to
I
be.
can't let you do that.
What do you mean?
Wait, no, can I? Wait, no.
No,
wait.
Alistair's used already.
Alistair and Finn are in the other match over there with Karrion Kross. Do you want to move
Oh,
Joe
I
over there?
can't add Joe to that match.
30 seconds.
Not if he's already in another match. But you can swap Joe over into that 3-way if you swap one of those 3 guys out of it.
Got you. Okay, all right. Sorry. Let me see that one more time. Man, I'm doing terrible at this. I'll get it next time. All right, let me swap.
No, I love it.
Let me
It's fun
swap
for me.
Joe. Let me swap Joe with Balor.
Whoa, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Wait, swap
Yeah.
Joe with
But-
Balor?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
This
All
is
right,
one
all
week
right,
away
now we're
from
talking.
graduation.
Okay.
Swap Joe for
Joe
Balor.
versus Black versus Karrion Kross. Jesus.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I knew I wanted to add him to that match. I was
Joe's going to
eyeballing
show
him.
him that old school indie vibe there. That's what he's going to do. All right, the real head of the table. All right, Samoa.
Wow.
Joe. All right, there we
Okay.
go. That's good. That all works.
Okay.
All right, Rev. Sorry to be so hard on you, but the rules are the rules.
I got it next time.
You know, these are very tight, very well. We've spent nearly 7 years fine tuning these rules, and they are perfect. They are ironclad. They are very clear on just about everything, except for the stuff
Nia
that
Jax's
takes a week to suss out.
Except for last week.
Except for last week when it didn't help us. Okay. That's my fault. I complicated the rules. I did that to myself. All right, Rev, thank you very much. Dave, are you ready?
I am ready, yes.
All right, 90 seconds, Sorg, let's go.
Okay, first of all, I understand about the rules because we've seen you pull out on the trolley the stack of rule book that there is for Mayhem Mania. Okay, so going last, I have things set up. Going last, I know you have to be ready for changes. So
wow. Okay.
I also was going to get rid of the Goldberg-Walter match, but
I love it.
5 for 5.
I'm giving the match the people want. WWE will not give you this match. The people want this match. The competitors want this match. So for I'll call it the up, down, down, left, right match. I'm removing everyone but Xavier Woods.
You can't do that.
Uh-oh.
You can only remove half of the. You can only remove one side. Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
You can clear out 3. You can clear out the opposite side and bring in 3 new guys to oppose Woods, Kingston, and Styles. You can't clear out those other 5 guys.
Dave,
just leave Woods.
Dave, I know what you're trying to do.
Yes.
BRE start. BRE.
You've lost me on BRE.
The BRE
15.
is Jessamine Duke, Shayna Baszler, Dakota
10
Kai,
seconds.
and Mia Yim.
10 seconds.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm going to leave that for someone else. I'm going to blow out that match completely. Sorry. You know what?
Okay.
3.
We'll have time.
2.
I'm blowing it out.
1.
Okay. Mercedes versus Mercedes. Mercedes Martinez versus Mercedes Vernano, also known as Sasha.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
No penalty on the hiccup coming down the pike there, David.
Well, remember, and also Happy Pizza Day. I was getting clarification too.
That's true.
From wherever which side Mike is in. So yeah.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like, if you ever watch the football game and the play clock goes down to 0, it takes like an extra 3 seconds for the old ass referees to see if it's at 0, and then try to see if the ball's been snapped yet. It's not. Yeah.
And I thank you for your indulgence on that.
I'm not mean.
Well, I know.
I mean,
Yeah, you are, Dad.
Shut up, son. All right. Okay. Good job, everybody. I will now recap the matches as they stand right now. We now have our cinematic match is now apparently MTV Unplugged. It is Elias and Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal versus Damian Priest and the 2 guys with Pete Dunne. The
I'm never living that
versus
down.
the Riot Squad. That's gonna stick. That nickname's gonna stick. Raquel Gonzalez versus Beth Phoenix. We now have Io Shirai versus Rey Mysterio. Mercedes Martinez versus Sasha Banks. Samoa Joe versus Aleister Black versus Karrion Kross. Keith Lee versus Pete Dunne versus Roman Reigns. And finally, Finn Balor versus Kyle O'Reilly versus Timothy Thatcher versus Ilya Dragunov. Our work is done. Please consult WrestlingMayhemShow.com if you want to catch up on the lore. And also, stay tuned later this week to this fine Facebook or YouTube channel for Talking Mayhem Mania, the hottest damn show on the internet, in which we'll talk about something related to this.
Capital H on hot.
With an H. Back to you, Sorg.
On that note, sorry, I was so thrown off with my answers. I dropped Bailey into my coffee. But
all of her?
Well, parts of her.
Just the whole?
Well, remember.
Ding dong, hello.
Ding dong, hello. Guys, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
Ooh, can I go?
Go ahead.
I learned not to hurt your hole on the apron. And you should always take care of it and put extra padding back there just in case, because the hole is precious.
Precious hole.
Back to you.
Well, who wants to follow that one?
All right, I'll try.
Yeah.
All right. Mine's lame anyways. But I learned that the hair versus hair stipulation in the women's wrestling match is back. They're doing it in I'm gonna screw it up. Stardom over in Japan. They're gonna have a hair versus hair match. It's coming up in March, I believe, early March. Enjoy.
I'm about to learn from Matt. How much should I be investigating other Japanese promotions right now?
Now is the time
Is
to
it?
be investigating. Okay, double what I've learned. Okay, this is like, so New Japan's got a couple big shows going on this week, but also later this week, Pro Wrestling Noah has a very big show later this week, and they are main eventing with Keiji Muto versus Go Shiozaki, I think. Oh God, I'm gonna get killed in the chat room. Chat room will hit me. Anyway, it's a really big show for Noah. It's a good place to jump on if you've been curious about getting into a different Japanese promotion, because there's a lot of good things going on over there. At least that's what I've heard. It's you have to be stubborn to get into these Japanese promotions. You just have to keep going in and listening to not English commentary and just trying until you finally just recognize a dude or someone, and you're like, oh, the person I liked from the last time, and then it kind of sets in. I mean, that's how it is for me when I was jumping on with New Japan. I knew nothing, and it was just like all you could do is just keep going back and keep trying. I keep dipping into Noah. I keep dipping into Dragon Gate. Nothing has really stuck very well, but I'm going to keep trying because there's a lot of good stuff going on over there. And now Stardom wants my attention now too. So there's a lot of good stuff going on.
Okay. Because I felt like, nothing's as accessible as New Japan, right? Because New Japan, you got Kevin Kelly just walking you through the whole thing, and it's a pretty good time to be a hey, I want to get into New Japan kind of thing, or even this program's coming up on Roku, and New Japan Strong and all that kind of stuff. So I just just taking the temperature. I appreciate that, and that's what I learned is what you just taught me. So just like that. Yeah, just like that. So, I mean, I feel like for most of us, it's really just kind of following the social media and seeing what kind of filters through, right? A little bit.
And there's so much out there. Things are really starting to ramp up now since we're into the new year, and it's hard to cut through all the static. But it was amazing to see Stardom kind of like cut through everything, and you're just like, oh, okay, or we're doing this. Okay, I will be back for that. So, and it's the same thing with Noah with that with putting Muto in that main event, because I know there are hardcore Japanese fans who are like, this dude's 60 years old. What the hell are you thinking? But you know what? It cut through all the other noise. Going around the pro wrestling world, and it makes fans like me and you over here in the States kind of go, oh, that's interesting. So it gets attention.
Absolutely. Podner, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
I learned two things that are related to each other. I learned that the first match of the AEW Women's Tournament will actually be on Dynamite.
Yay!
Not on a YouTube only channel. And Maki Ito is your new wrestling Twitter follower. Mm-hmm. As she posted, I am the god of love and piss. Cornette responded, and Twinkle Toes gets another fetish job. Better brush up on being the deity of shit.
Whoa.
She responds with a picture of her covered half covered with melted chocolate, saying, I am deity of shit. Right back to him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck?
I followed her earlier this afternoon, and I pray to every member of the Nightmare family that I get to see her on Dynamite.
Yeah, it's MAKI_ITOH.
Oh, just look up deity of shit. You'll
that too.
Let me see. I'm gonna look for that.
Vulgarity is her gimmick. Middle fingers and vulgarity.
Vulgarity
is her bit.
Cuteness.
When she was introduced during the presser for who was gonna be in it, I forget who it was. There was one woman on the Japanese side that had this really nice thought out post, thanking everyone, saying how excited she is to be in AEW, and Maki Ito just says, "What's up, motherfuckers?" I'm like,
exactly.
I'm like, that's how you get my attention.
I'm a fan. I now follow her on Twitter. I am a fan. The Shane Taylor Promotions was always talking about going international, but this might take it to a new level. So I might have to reach out. I'm all about it. I'm all about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and like a week ago, I think she hit 100,000 followers. She said, "Dear 100,000 Sims, thank you. Fuck you all."
Honestly, if that's not the wrestler of 2021, I don't.
Yeah, there we go. There we got the picture there of her.
Wow.
It's
Her
like
DJ shit.
she's
Very
kind of
tasteful.
like Poppy and Io Shirai did a Dragon Ball team, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Baby Metal is a wrestler.
Yes. Oh boy. All right. Well, I learned a few things. One, it's always fun to introduce someone new to Lucha Underground. I showed my father-in-law Grave Consequences, and we ended up watching 3 hours of Lucha Underground.
My favorite match of all time.
Yes. and I also learned that Paul Heyman is doing the Lord's work on Talking Smack. Paul Heyman has cut the best Bianca Belair promo in the world without her saying a damn thing. He, like, for those of you who haven't watched Talking Smack, Bianca Belair was on it. She was celebrating her Rumble victory. Paul Heyman just talked for 5-7 minutes, just gassing up Bianca Belair. Like, it was one of the greatest things. It was so just spot on, and it was like every Brock Lesnar promo you've ever heard, multiply that times 10 and add Bianca like so happy and almost like on the verge of tears because Paul Heyman is saying this about her. It was beautiful. It's so great. They better not fuck this Bianca Belair stuff up. That's all I'm saying.
100% on board with that sentiment, actually. So
I'm just watching this girl dance.
Whoa.
What, the swearing girl?
Yeah, swearing girl. I don't know. There's like, I landed on the GIF where she's doing some kind of like J-pop dance or something, and it says, "I am the cutest in the world." It's like, well, here I am now. So there's a lot.
Sorg fell down the rabbit hole.
I'm absorbing.
Oh boy,
a lot.
You'll love to see it.
I'm absorbing a lot right now, and I think I just liked a lot of tweets by Fight Underground accidentally. So, yeah.
Cool.
If Area 3 looks a little different, sorry about that. Anyways, who's next? Alex, you went, right?
I have not gone yet.
You have not gone. How about you go next?
I don't know. All right.
I'm easily confused and amused right now.
Yeah. Okay. What's up?
Go. Just go.
I'm good? Okay. All right. So I learned that when we were talking about New Japan earlier, I learned that I'm going to find it to be a very interesting Thursday evening because they mentioned sort of the details of the New Japan on Roku deal, and apparently it is at 5 p.m. like wherever you're at, which means
5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Yeah. No. So for me, that means that means that I have to squeeze in watching the New Japan on Roku, kind of as I'm setting up for the OPW live show. So that's gonna be fun.
I would caution that thinking. I think it's more that because again, Roku is not a streaming station. That just means it's going to be on. Like you can hit play after 5 o'clock.
No, right. Yeah,
so
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Well, I'm just saying, like, in terms of it's interesting that they didn't say like 5. They didn't say 5 Eastern. They didn't say 5 Pacific. It's not attached to a time zone, which was very interesting to me. It's 5 o'clock. So
you're saying
I don't think Minoru Suzuki can be tied to a time zone.
This is very true as well. So I'm gonna have to squeeze in some New Japan on Roku while I'm setting up for OPW Live every Thursday night. So, yeah.
Just one more show to add to the pile, right?
Yep.
One more show. Who did I miss? Who hasn't gone yet?
I'll go.
Bobby.
This is not my first rodeo. I know what's gonna happen. I hate that this is gonna happen.
Bobby, don't speak it.
But I think they're gonna screw Asuka out of a WrestleMania match again because
Oh.
Lacey Evans is gonna beat her, and it's gonna be her and Charlotte for the women's title at WrestleMania, which it's always it's there. It's gonna happen.
Bobby, don't speak
Yeah.
it into existence.
Also, where's Dabba-Kato?
He's in the hole.
Somebody get him out.
Okay. All right.
All about.
He's missing. He's on a milk carton.
Did I miss anybody else? Did everybody go? I think yes. From the chat room, I don't know. I didn't check the chat room. I didn't see any in the chat room.
I haven't seen anything in the chat room.
So, with that, the Rev, thank you so much for hanging out with us again. He's on mute. He's gone.
You're welcome, Sorg.
Oh, where'd he go?
Where'd he go?
I don't know
Where'd he go? We lost him.
Disappeared into the abyss.
Oh no, he was there a second ago.
He disappeared into the hole.
He fell into the hole.
Oh no.
He said his planet needs him. He just disappeared. He's gone.
Oh no. Okay. Well, thank you, the Rev, for being with us.
Hey, Sorg.
I want to know whose thing pushed him over the edge. Yes,
the Lacey
Dave.
Evans comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all pissed about that one. What's that, Potter?
Oh, yeah. Well, real quick, I think from the chat, I see Tina said there's wrestling every weekday is what she learned.
Yes.
Which is yeah. I mean,
that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
We knew we'd get there eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No days off.
No surrenders this weekend. I will be using my Impact Plus to justify it another month.
Yes.
So as I said, Private Party, you're going to get, I think, a title shot that night. And Tommy.
Sorg, don't bury the lead. It's Tommy Dreamer's 50th birthday. Come on, man.
Yes, it is.
And this is just a logistic question. I thought the Good Brothers were the Impact Tag Team Champions.
They are.
They are.
Okay, so that's who Private Party's fighting.
I do believe.
Okay,
and we're going to finally understand the rules.
Yeah.
of a revolver.
Because for them to be fighting, it seems like they barely interact on AEW.
Right, but it's been happening. It's been happening on Impact.
Okay, I was just making sure.
It's been happening on Impact, and they allude to that, and that's why I made a mention earlier about how Private Party just kind of like not gotten a lot of airtime on AEW, but now they're doing stuff over there. So like that exchange feels like it's been pretty good. Guys, thank you for being on. Thank you, everybody. Mayhem Mania, still mayheming. Stay tuned for Talking Mayhem Mania, which should be dropping Friday at 10 p.m. Check out the Rev Ron Hunt over on Fight Underground and follow his social media. And also check out the Sunday sessions with Ronnie Nicole. The first episode happened this past weekend. It's a special that she's doing some conversations with Black History Month. That is in, if you are already receiving in some fashion the Indie Mayhem show, it's in a lot of those feeds. But you can just go to indiewrestling.us and check it out straight up there. I actually did not announce who's coming up. There was going to be a friend of the show involved this Sunday. And I believe that's at 8 o'clock almost every, well, it might be 10 o'clock because there's a pay-per-view. So keep an eye out for that. Those will be debuting Sunday nights for the duration of February. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Until next time, Mayhem out.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.